Hey everybody, this is Vince Miller. Thank you so much for joining me for this devotional. Today we are in 1 Timothy chapter 3, verse 2 again. We are on our third qualification. Here's how the text reads. It says, therefore an overseer must be, here it is, sober-minded. Sober-minded. Now the following three qualifications in this list are leadership virtues that I think are very closely related. They address the thoughts and the feelings and the actions of the leader. Now, the one today describes the leader as sober in thought. In other words, he's not intoxicated by thoughts that result in bad judgments and actions in his life. So this leader controls his mental acuity to the point that he doesn't fly off the handle and act in extremes. So to give you a picture of what Paul's talking about here, here is a description of what a sober-minded leader will not do. They do not drink in unreasonable amounts of left or right-leaning news, and then drink in the fears that they perpetuate, and then become intoxicated with anger and infuriation to the point that they're impossible to have a reasonable conversation with. Like that illustration? Instead, they are sober in thought. They can discern truth and trust God's sovereignty even when the world and the news has gone crazy. Now, today I chose politics to illustrate this point, but I really could have done this with anything that we tend to overconsume, like literally anything, like the consumption of social media, for example, or money, or success, or food, or sports, or gaming, or you name it. Because in this world, we can overconsume anything, can't we? Thus, what Paul describes here is a leader who has regulation on his thought life. He knows when enough is enough, and then he can stop before his mind is consumed by what it's consuming. Because there is a point our minds become consumed by what it's taking in, what it's consuming. And once this happens, guess what happens next? Our feelings and our actions become so intoxicated that they will act without giving much thought. Do you see that there? So today, if you've been over-consuming something, or really anything, maybe it's time to sober up. Just toss the drink away. This means it might be time to think differently about that thing that is consuming so much of you. Well, there you have it. Remember, think about this in the aspirational sense. Think about it as something that you want to accomplish in this life as a leader and as a man. And with that, I'll see you right back here again tomorrow.